Hey everybody, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. I am back, you guys, with a brand new video. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. And today I am talking about a success story that is so familiar. I've had so many clients that have a situation like this. How my client turned her whole situation around. She was in no contact with her specific person. They got back into contact. He initiated the relationship talk. He moved it forwards. He apologized and he said all of the things that she was affirming. So I'm going to go into how to make this happen, how to make it relatable for your situation, into the basics of why the mental diet works. Anyone see? It is so humid today. Why the mental diet works and how you can turn around any situation, that it is really up to you, that you are the center of your universe, and how to do this. Do we feel? Do we think? Do we imagine? Do we listen? Do we visualize? Okay, let me clear it up. As always, though, all of my information for booking coaching, booking hypnosis, booking my courses, booking my hypnosis audios, they're all in the box below, clickable there. Okay. So you guys, I hear situation like this a lot from a lot of people who come to me for relationship manifestation coaching. And this is a very familiar tale a lot of people have talked to me about. So if this is you, I want to give you hope today. And if it's not you, I want to give you a reminder and a loving kick in the booty that you can have what you want, you can be who you want, you get to experience the relationship that you want in this lifetime, and that all your desires are already done, that you can have what you want, you get to be who you want, you get it all, you can have it all as long as you think it, okay? I also want to remind everyone that your thoughts think everything into existence. So even if you're doing visualization, or if you're feeling something real, or you're living in the end of a felt experience of something, your thoughts matter, okay? So oftentimes people are doing like visualizing, listening to audio tapes. Gosh, I feel like I've said this, you guys, in every video. You've heard it a lot. You've heard me say it a lot. Just bear with me if you haven't. This is for you, okay? But people are doing a lot of things and they're feeling very anxious, very worried, very fearful, very afraid, very anxious, very worried, very fearful, and very afraid about their relationship status or what's happened, the past of what's happened, the fear of things happening. There's a lot of fear going on. So then from that place of fear, anxiety, worry, people are doing a bunch of things: visualizing, scripting, listening to audios, hypnosis recordings, affirmations, manifestation groups, yada, 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 yada. Now, the thing is this, you guys, all of these methods work. I encourage you, though, to stabilize yourself first and foremost. You don't want to be doing any kind of manifestation idea or technique, even though, you guys, you know me, the mental diet, your thoughts are not a technique. They are just the thoughts you're thinking all of the time. We are getting you to think thoughts on purpose of what you want and to take the mind away from what you don't want. Now, what a lot of people have done is visualize, do things, right, to make something happen. And then the rest of the time, they're thinking contradictory thoughts to that method or technique that they did. And then the contradictory thoughts are overriding all the work that they have put in. So that is why I stand by it, you guys. Like I told this client, you have got to do whatever you can do to stabilize your mind. Now, I want to also say, stabilizing the mind is not quieting the mind, and it is not creating like a quiet space in your mental faculties. That is also a bit unachievable in today's day and age. And most of us are engaging in a lot of things a lot of the time. So the goal is not to quiet the mind or create white space or create white noise or, simmer things down or like blanket the mind. That is not the goal. That's not the mental diet. The mental diet is, what am I affirming in my frontal cortex? What am I affirming with my mind? The thoughts that I think consistently, purposefully, and what I declare to be true, they radiate into my environment. They affect my subconscious mind, and therefore they project into my reality. That is a movie that comes from me. Okay. So also, this client had been in no contact. Now, who contacted who first? It was him. In this case, my client's a she. It's a guy. Okay. Now, I get asked a lot too. I am taking action. I want them to pursue me. I am calling, I am texting, I am making all the plans, but I want them to do it first. And I feel like I'm chasing, I feel like I'm pursuing. Again, this is why it's necessary to stabilize yourself and do whatever you can do to stabilize your mind and just get it to feel more stable. You know when you're thinking thoughts of stability. Thoughts of stability are like this. Oh yeah, the pen's right here. Oh yeah, the highlighter's right here. Oh yes, my notes are right here. Oh yes, I'm sitting at my desk. Okay. Those are thoughts of stability. They're very less frenetic, right? Now I know Alexis, and like, listen, you guys, all of us can be affected by a racing mind, thoughts being so quick, thoughts moving so quickly. All of us every day can go into that mode, right? It's a skill and a practice to develop being easygoing and being like, oh yeah, so my mind is all over the place. Guess what? I'm going to stabilize myself. I'm right here, right now. I am stable. I am in control of my thoughts. I am safe and I'm secure. I'm okay. The thing is that a lot of the very frenetic thinking that a lot of us have engaged in come from things being passed down from family structure to family structure and people and seeing anxiety, worry, and fear. And there's a lot of anxiety, worry, and fear that you can access and can focus on in the human experience, right? Like, let's be real in 2024. But it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you change your life, and it's not going to help you move things forwards with your SP. Because if you're engaging in this, like this client was super frenetic. It was like I would tell her one affirmation, and she would tell me 15. And she sent in a success story, so I'm allowed to share. She would tell me like 15 opposing thoughts, right? I'd be like, well, what if we think he's the one calling, he's the one texting? She would literally go into like, the whole story of why he couldn't text, why he couldn't call, who he is. He's not emotional. He's this, he's that. He's too busy. He's this. And I said, okay, we got to change this. And I've got to get you to focus on what I'm saying. I need you to think of this instead of all of that, which is oftentimes, you guys, why it's really helpful to tell someone what you're thinking, to tell someone what's going on in your mind, to tell someone what your circumstances are so that you can know what to think to change them. Because your outer circumstances outside of your body, outside of you, they're a projection of your mind. They too are an illusion. They're an energetic illusion. I have done hundreds, well, not hundreds, but like, 2 dozen, 3 dozen videos on your reality is energy. Everything is molecular energy, and it is too. So that's why your outer reality is not to be taken seriously. It doesn't hold all the clues and all the information unless it's what you want. But if you're watching this video and this resonates with you, you're probably experiencing what you don't want. If you're in no contact, if you haven't heard from the SP, if you feel like you have to do all the doing, if you want them to treat you like a princess, a queen, and do things for you, prioritize you, etc., then this is the way that we go about it, at least with this client's circumstance. Okay. So, but I do want to point out, like I've said so many times, everyone is different, right? So you want to think about, who am I? Who have I been? And what keeps me from being pursued, adored, and loved, and chosen? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Dear Alexis, thank you so much for your recent sessions with me. I can't tell you that after 7 sessions, everything has been so life-changing. I have been able to totally turn my life around, and things with my SP are totally and completely changing. I want everyone to know that here's my success story, that this for me was not easy. This was probably the most difficult thing that I have ever had to focus on. I am good at school. I am good at my job. I'm good at making money. And I'm actually pretty good with my family. But my specific person, he triggered me so badly. I realize now that it got me so disempowered, so down on myself. And I thought nothing was working. Before I met with Alexis, I was visualizing. I was scripting. I was doing inner conversations. I was listening to affirmation audios. And I was also doing sleep subliminals. And now I realize that the biggest component that was missing, along with doing too much, was me. That I am the one creating my reality, that my thoughts create, and that everyone is acting and interacting with me based upon who they are, who I think they are, and the thoughts that I am sending out to my reality. Alexis, I can't thank you enough for helping me turn around, which was my biggest change, was getting the SP to pursue me, choose me, love me, adore me, make plans with me, make dates with me. And guess what? All those things happened. And he also brought up the relationship talk with me. I also want to point out to everyone that in my case, it did not happen overnight. I had been involved in a lot of manifestation groups and seen a lot of content about instant manifestation. She puts in quotations. And now I realize that also a lot of that got me off track. Once I took a chill pill, relaxed, stabilized myself, as you said, Alexis, and got a hold of my thinking, everything unfolded. All along, I think that I was frantic. My mind was out of control, and it got worse once I came to conscious manifesting. And that only pushed my SP away because I could not focus on him the way that I wanted him to be, him doing things I wanted him to do them, and him being the version of him that I wanted to be. I realize now that maybe he was partially that version all along, but I also couldn't see it because I was so worried, scared, and afraid. So this is my tip. I think that's a typo here for anyone who is in the same circumstance. If you are in no contact with your SP, if you haven't heard from your SP, if you feel like it's going nowhere, you can turn it around. It's all up to you, and that it can begin to happen all the time, always, right away, that everything is changeable, everything is movable, because as Alexis told me, everything is energy. See you in my next session. Thank you for being an amazing coach. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you for holding my hand. And thank you for also holding space while I was so irritated, so angry, and so frustrated at my circumstances. Thank you for saying, just like you tell us to do with our SPs. XO, see you in my next session. I can't wait to get my marriage proposal. Exclamation point. All right. So you guys, yeah, you're welcome to book a session and get angry, irritated, frustrated, annoyed. Totally. A lot of people do. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, there was a time where I, Alexis, hadn't manifested being married, the family I have now, the life that I have now. And I remember how challenging it was and all the information that was out there, and that I felt very misled, not really understanding how to get exactly what I wanted, with who I wanted, with what I wanted. I get it. So like, hey, you can be like her. You can totally get angry, bring a pillow. We can virtually hit it together. Totally. Okay. But you guys, back to the whole point here, right? How did she do this? How did she do this? Now, the first thing she did was stabilize the mind. I told her you have no option besides to figure out a way to stabilize yourself. I said, before you came to doing all this, what did you do that got you in a place where you were grounded? Because all of us get anxious, right? All of us have things that can get us out of whack. I said, what did you do? For her, she had always been a runner. And she actually said, well, since I began manifesting, I feel so anxious that I'm not running. And I said, okay, can we run? Can you get back out? I want you to put your shoes on, go running. And I want you to do your affirmations while you're running and impress your mind. She said, okay, I really don't want to, but okay. All right. So that was one thing that she did. Now, do you need to be exercising? Do you need to be running? Do you need to do anything to make this happen? No. But what you do need to do is think, how can I focus the best? How can I get a hold of my mind the easiest, best way for me? What has always worked for me? It's like if you are manifesting weight loss, right? It's like, what has always worked for me? What easily gets me there? Instead of this place people go where it's like, I can eat whatever I want. I can be whoever I want. That works, but perhaps there is a way of eating or something that creates a placebo effect in your mind that creates for it to happen. All that matters is that you have a concept of what works for you, and you enact that as part of your conscious creation process. Like I, Alexis, have like, I don't know, tens of thousands of things I do that are hobbies, self-care, stuff that I do because I like it. It keeps me focused on me. I have a better life experience, and it helps stabilize my mind and my mood and my emotions. Okay. I am not really in favor of just doing a mental diet for everything, just focusing thoughts for everything. Like we have a lot of tools in our 3D to use, right? We have a lot of things. It's like, if you have a headache, do you take something or do you persist and affirm through the headache? You do you, right? But like, I always want to do the easiest route for me. And why not do something to help the headache, even if it is just tapping? Okay. So like with her, we had gone through all this, and I said, we got to get you stable. We got to get you stable. We got to get we got to get you stable to get the SP to be pursuing you, chasing you, and coming towards you, because you got to receive it, right? There is the version of her and the reality. You guys, guess who gave these to me? Amanda. Our Amanda was visiting LA. She gave these to me, and I said, I'm going to use them with clients. I know she gave them to me to use in a video. So Amanda, here they are. Okay. So there's the version of you in reality, right? With your SP, where you're doing everything, you're calling, you're texting, you're feeling anxious, you're making it happen. You're not feeling chased. You're not feeling pursued. You're not feeling loved. You're not feeling wanted. Okay. Because oftentimes we are chasing and pursuing and chasing love, pursuing love, because we ourselves do not feel loved and adored and wanted. Okay. Now, these pens are kind of similar. So I'm going to get a different highlighter. This is purple. This is pink. Okay. So there is also a version of you that is naturally loved and adored, and he pursues you or they pursue you. They like you. They do everything for you. But the version of you is different. Now, I would challenge everyone to say that in this ideal version, you are also stable, self-loving, self-forgiving, self-accepting, seeing that it's working, and wow, without a shadow of a doubt that you are pursued and chased and adored. You have to have a conviction and determination to think yourself into being this, and then therefore SP will be this too, right? Like I said to this client, and like, everyone's watched a lot of videos at this point, but it's really, really hard to implement this on yourself. It's also really hard to understand, what am I chasing? What am I pursuing? What am I chasing love? Why am I chasing love? What is going on with me? Okay. So that's what I told her too. So once she was able to do this, it was like everything else fell into place. She figured out that she did like to visualize something, but that she still had to watch her thoughts. Okay. Like I've said in every video, I have never had a client who has just visualized and then it happened. I've had clients who like do the mental diet and they affirm and they visualize and then things happen, or they do the mental diet, they affirm, and then, what's another one? They listen to like audios, right? Because they're an auditory person. Their mind likes the audio listening, and that works for them. Okay. I've had clients that just affirm, or even they affirm out loud, right? And they really focus on changing these things, and then it happens. I will say too, this does take diligence and persistence and consistency. This isn't something where it's like, I'm going to do this for 2 days. I'm going to do this for 3 days. I'm going to do this for 4 days. And then it doesn't happen, Alexis. And guess what? It didn't happen instantly. So it's going nowhere. It's never going to happen. I'm always going to be alone. Okay. I'm really reaching for some, dire circumstances today, apparently. Okay. So see what I'm saying? We need also, if you think about the mind develops a habit after 21 days. This is developing a new habit. It's a new skill. It's a new skill to be in charge of your thoughts, because your thoughts are in charge of the belief systems and the assumptions that are in your subconscious mind. So you have to think differently to change your belief systems and your assumptions. It is necessary. Okay. I just, the more that I even say that, it's like, do your beliefs and your assumptions even change through an imaginal act or an imagination scene? I really don't think so, because think about the assumptions in your mind are like deep thought systems. They're really not even a picture. That just dawned on me. So you know what, you guys, you got to do it all, right? But I know for me, I went through a period of visualizing, manifesting through just visualizing, saw some things happen when I really changed my thoughts about me and about people. And to this day, I stand by it, because I know that the people in my reality are a reflection of my thoughts. What am I thinking? Who am I deciding people are? You know what? I don't think Logan is home, but if he runs out here, everyone gets to see an appearance that has not happened in a while, or ever really in a video, right? Just in shorts. Okay. So like this client, you can be a success story. You can get pursued and loved and adored and chased by your SP. It is 1,000% possible, but you have to change what you're thinking. You have to change your mind about them, change who you are. And I really challenge you this weekend, today, to think and be the best version of you. And by being the best version of you, thinking of the version of them differently. He chases me. He pursues me. He loves me. He is all about me all the time. All he wants is me. I satisfy all of his needs. He thinks I'm so sexy. He thinks I'm so cute. He thinks that I'm the bee's knees. He is on me like white on rice. Okay. Bees to honey, things like that. Really, that is the mental diet. That is how you make this happen. But you got to stabilize yourself first. I just said a bunch of affirmations again in a video. I've been trying not to do that because everyone grabs them and then has a huge list. But you guys, the way that I just said it is the mental diet, once an hour, twice an hour, all day long, all of the time in the mind. It's the conceptual idea of changing this and persisting until it shows up, right? It's persisting in those thoughts and that dynamic. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days, 14 days, 21 days, 32 days, 3 months until it happens. I'm not saying it takes 3 months. It could take 3 days, but it is having a conviction and decision and making that your new story, not going into the old story. Okay. You guys got this. Let's focus on getting the mind being stable, not the mind being clear, the mind being stable, getting yourself energetically stable, strong, focused, determined, thinking thoughts only of what you want. Okay. The other thing I also want to point out too is that what might help you is to create a whole new story of the SP instead of just doing thought change, thought flipping. With this client specifically, I had said, okay, I get it that you have 20 affirmations, but I want you to tell me who you ideally want him to be, who you ideally want yourself to be. And then we created a new thought story about that she recited to herself. And that was really helpful for her. Okay, guys, this has been an all around the mulberry bush video, but this is helpful, right? This is what we all need to stay on track and to start the week out determined to focus on what we want and to know that the 3D noise, it's old news. It doesn't matter. We don't take our cues and our thought focus and our determination from the things out there or the things in the past. What matters is now what you're focusing on and reminding yourself of this all week. Okay. All right. I will see you guys in my next video. Celebrate yourself this week. Remember that you're awesome. I love you all and see you soon. Bye.